Welcome back to the GSD Podcast. We're working with business owners who feel stuck, confused, and not sure what to do in their business. And through my experience in this podcast, I'm going to help to bring you clarity, value, and knowledge so you can have a thriving business. We are on episode 4 today, which today's episode is what is your business's USP? So first of all, if you don't know what a USP is, that's the first thing we have to go over. So USP is unique selling proposition or unique selling points. Either way, both work. It depends on what you're trying to make special and unique about your business. What's funny is you would think a lot of people already do this, but what I'm learning is a lot of people don't already do this. I'll take this back to me because the best examples I can give to you and show you are kind of what I went through and then what I overcame and my hurdle, and then some other examples I see as well. But ask yourself, what is your unique selling point? Why should somebody come to you? I don't care if it's a product or service, but why should they come to you? So if we think back to where we are so far, we started off like, why do you want a business? Why do you want to go into business? What are you looking to do? What type of business? Then we went into like, what is your niche? And now that you know what the business is and why you want to start it, like what's going to be your specific niche or niche about that business? What are you going to do to make yourself stand out? Now, our next point is what is your business's unique selling proposition? So as you notice, we keep just slowly narrowing down a little bit more of what our business is doing, or in other words, like going through this funnel to be more specific on who our client is, so we can start to understand our client and understand their habits, their buying habits, and why they even want to come to us. That is kind of a big deal of what we want to get to. So a unique selling proposition or unique selling point is funny because I just never thought of this stuff when I started my business. And to give you guys a little bit more background, I might not have gone through this. I went to school for business. Like I have a bachelor's in business. I had business, I would say mentors, but even the business mentors, they leave a lot out. It's just like anything in life. You just got to do it. Once you do something, that's where you gain most of your knowledge and expertise. And when you fail, which I've done plenty of times, but when you fail, you start to learn what to do and do right the next time through. So it's very important to do, but don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't be educated on some things. It's good to be educated, whether you go to school on it or do your own research, read or get a business mentor, internship, apprenticeship, whatever it is. It's good to become educated on what you want to go into, but you're going to learn the most by just doing it. Just go in and do it. I've had to figure that out the hard way because I love to be prepared. I'm a planner, so I love to be educated, prepared, and ready to go. And you can't do that with everything in life. So I had to learn that the hard way. And guess what, guys? I am still learning that. I'm not always the one to jump in. I still have to learn and prepare. And it's a constant struggle with like both sides of my brain going back and forth. With that being said, I didn't really have a unique selling point. I just thought like, oh, I'm just going to offer a cheap price. That's unique, right? Well, you know what? To some people it is. Maybe you're a service that never discounts what they do. So maybe your unique selling proposition is the fact that you actually discount the service for people, but still provide the highest value. I don't really think that's unique, but that is a possibility that could be yours. So with me, I didn't really have one. I just figured, hey, I'm going to do the best work I can at a good price because I wanted to just prove to them that I'm the person they want to work with. So I started to do that and I realized like, wow, that really doesn't set me apart for anything. That doesn't make me unique at all. So many people are willing to undercut you in a second. So I really started to think, and I started to think about just things I love in life. I play music. I'm a musician. I love it. I'm also a gamer. Hey, I grew up in the 80s. That's when gaming became big. I still game with some friends. I love gaming. So I'm thinking of these things, music, gaming, art, things like that. And I was like, I'm very passionate about this stuff. So I started thinking passion. And then it hit me. Oh, this could be my mission statement, but also my unique selling proposition is when you look at my email signatures for my business, I put at the bottom, I care as much about your passion as I do mine. Now, to some people, they don't care. They might not have a passion. But to me, I take things I'm passionate about very seriously. So what I'm trying to tell people is I care just as much about your passion as I do mine. And I care a lot about mine. So I'm going to put as much effort into your work and your project as if it was my passion to make sure you are getting value. Because one thing that I think is something you are ingrained with on your own, you can teach this to someone, but it's up to them if they go through it. But things like showing up on time, being ready to work, being teachable, being able to learn something new, all these different aspects, good attitude, these are work ethics, which a lot of people don't have. I've met people that are so knowledgeable on different topics, but they have no work ethic. They feel like everyone should just bow to their feet because they're like the smartest thing on earth in their one field. Well, sorry, it doesn't work like that. I'd rather work with someone that doesn't know as much, but has a great work ethic, and I know we'll get there. To me, having that statement of, I care as much about your passion as I do mine, I'm basically saying I'm going to show up with the best work ethic you've ever seen because I care about what I'm doing for you as I do my own stuff. And even having that attitude going into different jobs, I couldn't believe how different that was and how it actually changed my perception and my attitude, not just from my side, but my client side to each other. I started getting a lot of referrals and word of mouth jobs because of that. And a lot of people said it's your work ethic and your loyalty to us of why I choose you. And I've actually upped prices over the years, and you kind of have to. You have to up your prices over the years because there's things called inflation, there's things called business expenses, and everything goes up. We'll talk about that in a future episode. Even though that didn't seem unique, it became even more unique in what I do because the people I work with saw that of me, and that's why they hired me. I have clients that have come to me for repeat large jobs year after year because they don't trust anybody else. I've had clients actually in a meeting with other partners on a project who hired other people, and they're like, no, you should go with my guy, Mark. You should go with him. I don't know. This person I don't agree with. Why doesn't this person do this? My guy would do this and do this and do this for us. So he's fighting to get me work, and I don't even know about the job. That's amazing to have a client actually fight for you to give you a job when you're not even there just because they love working with you so much. So I realized that having this good work ethic, caring as much about a person's work as it is your own thing that you love to do was my unique selling point because I'm a contractor. Yes, I'm a small business owner. I work with contractors. I don't have employees like I've talked about before, but I'm a small business owner. I work for myself. I'm very mindful of what I can take on. I'm very mindful of how I do my work and how I have revenue streams coming in. So with that being said, I think the most important was this work ethic with my clients. I want them to know that when they come to me and they're like, man, I can rely on him. And he's not just out there for another, piece of paper, which is some dollar bills. And that's what started to set me apart. When people started to see that, they didn't want to let me go. So if I had to raise a price, they would pay the price because they didn't want me to go. And if I did have to leave for something, they were discouraged, or the people that replaced them, they're just not as good as what you were doing. So this isn't like, let Mark talk about patting himself on the back. That's not what that is. This is all about, I found what my unique selling point is. So let's talk about that a little bit more. I've worked with clients who are like, hey, my unique selling point is I offer free estimates. Okay, that can work. But how do you make a USP and make sure it's different than everyone else? I would say, first of all, look at what you're offering first. Look at what you're offering. Like, what's your niche? What are you offering? Then start to look at the competition. What is your competition? Is it local competition? Is it national competition? Look at where your competition is. So let's just look at a local level. So at a local level, are there other people that do what you do? You got to research them. You got to take a deep dive into those businesses. What is their unique selling point? What are they offering? Are they doing free estimates too? Okay, so now there's two companies that offer the same service or product that both do free estimates. Well, sorry, it wouldn't be a product. It'd be a service for a free estimate, but you both do free estimates. Okay, well, now you both offer the same thing. That's your unique selling point. So it's not that unique when someone else does the same thing. Free estimates are a great tool to get someone in the door, but what else are you offering them? So I would take it a step further. So maybe, hey, my unique selling proposition is I offer free in-home estimates. We come out on your schedule, day, evening, or weekend to do the estimates. So now you're still free estimates, but you're a free estimate on their schedule, not on your schedule. Maybe the other people are on your schedule. Maybe you say, hey, if we come out and do a free estimate for you and you're a new customer, we'll give you 10% off first order. That can be more unique. Maybe you do a service and provide a product. Let's take an example. Maybe you are a pool cleaning company, all right? And your service is you come and clean someone's pool, but you also have your own product or you sell a product. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm going to come out there and see what you got. Oh, your pool, it's turning green. It's an algae issue. So we got to shock it. We got to put chlorine in it, but there's also this like algicide we're going to put in it. Here, I'm opening up a brand new bottle. It's a $20 bottle. I'm putting it in. You keep the rest because you're going to need it to finish the course of cleaning this up. Oh my gosh, does that just provide value to your customer? Not only did you come out and take care of their stuff, but you gave them a free product on top of it. Now they're going to come to you because you just built trust with them. So part of your unique selling proposition is what's going to get somebody to come to you. We can talk about providing value to your customer in a future episode. But if your unique selling proposition is, hey, free estimates, and we'll come to your house on your time, maybe when they sign up for the job and you also have a product, you give them one free bottle of your product. What is that going to do? It's going to cost you your cost on the product. Well, if you mark up your service right, maybe that cost is already added to your service. So you're not really losing money. And now that they get to test your product, people might really like it and now want to buy your product all the time. As you work your business and you develop your niche, come up with what your unique selling point is. It's okay if other people have something out there like it, but how do you make it just a little different than everybody else? So think about that. Write down ideas. You never know. You could come up with something that nobody did before, but try to think a little bit, not outside the box, but a little bit more than what someone else is doing. Look at your competition. Think about what you can do. Balance it properly in your budget. Figure out what that little extra is where you provide more value, and you will get a lot more in return for that. So that's all today about your USP, which is your unique selling proposition or your unique selling point. And make sure you tune in and check out the website. It is thewizardofiz.com, where you can get more helpful information through some of the blogs. Also, just so you guys know, if you are so inclined to donate to this podcast, I'd love it if you do. I have links on the website to that. This podcast, it takes time and it actually takes money to run. So I appreciate any support to help keep this podcast up and running so I can deliver more content and information to you guys. So until next time, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another new episode. Take care from the Wizard of Iz.